Good. Well, we have to be flexible, so when the food didn't come on time, it kind of set us off a little bit, but I think we made up for it, so hopefully we're all good. Thanks to Diana, you know, the birthday cake in there, that was to celebrate her 95 years. And if you go back into the archives, which are amazing over at the library, you'll see a lot of what she has presented, and you'll feel so good about the group that started this club. And I think they set us on a wonderful pace. And when Linda Sappington was visited with us a few weeks ago, she talked about what a great club we have. I think she was really proud of us. You know, she talked about the year that we were the Club of the Year, which was in 2003, 2004. She talked about Glade being Rotarian of the Year. And then she gave us some real kudos for the contributions that we make all the time to Polio Plus and the foundation. She told us that many clubs are getting behind in the way that they're contributing. And because of that, we're not going to see as much grant money coming in the future because the donations are down. But this club has really done a fabulous job. We participated this year in what we called, I don't even know if I've got the certificate somewhere, but the Under 40 Initiative. And the idea that the district had was that we have got to recruit younger members. You know, people like me, you know, senior citizens, we're not going to be around forever. And so we have to find our replacements. So the Under 40 Initiative provided us with some tools. We were able to brainstorm with the 9 other clubs that were part of that. We received a nice certificate. We would have gone on stage at the conference, but they didn't have it. But anyway, kudos to everybody that participated in recruiting those younger members. We also got an award for having 12 straight years of Rotary growth. So a lot of clubs, their membership is kind of going down the tubes, but with our club over that 12-year period, we showed the growth. So I just want to compliment all of you and give you a round of applause for your years of great Rotary excellence. So when Linda was here and giving us all these kudos, we had 80 members. And Paul set up his district goals so that we would have 81 members. So that they said you at least have to add one. But unfortunately, we are down to 73 right now. So in order to get that additional 80, we really got to work hard. And you know, why are we down members? You know, a lot of us ask that question. Well, there's a lot of reasons. You know, unfortunately, we lost a great member in Dave Bentley. We had some people that relocated. We had a couple members that just said for work-related reasons they weren't able to continue, and then we had a couple leave for personal reasons. And when those personal reasons, we hear about those, they actually go to the board, and the board talks about them and determines is there anything we need to change in the way we operate. So those discussions are held, and we don't just ignore the fact that people left our club. We had a great year for recruitment. But you can look around the room and we don't see a lot of our new members in attendance. You know, Nathan's here, but we have a lot of new people that aren't coming, and people aren't coming for a variety of reasons. But Rotary International tells us that new members, if they have a problem with the club, they quit going within 2 to 3 years after they join. And there's a lot of reasons for that. You know, do they feel welcomed by the club members? Are they engaged? You know, do we put them on a committee? Do we get them involved in the fundraiser? So a lot of things we kind of have to ask ourselves when we bring somebody on, because it's a lot of work to get a new member, but it's even more work to keep that member. Linda talked about her district goals, and she talked about keeping the wheels on the bus, and I think that's a really good description of what we're going through right now. You know, we have people that aren't able to come to the meetings. We don't even know where our meetings are from week to week. We don't know where we're getting our food. It's just all of those issues. So yes, you know, when she talks about keeping the wheels on, I mean, she's really got a good point. And you know, it takes an entire bus load to keep those wheels on the bus. And as older members are transitioning out of assignments, you know, Betty Jones is an example where, you know, she is giving up her work on the Veterans Committee and with the Sunshine Committee, then we obviously have to have other people that step up and really take over those assignments. And a lot of people, I think, join Rotary, at least I've talked to a few that think they love the whole service idea, but service projects are obviously something that's very important, but operations of the club are equally important. We have to keep this club going, and that's done through committees and assignments and that type of thing. And when we talk about how did we do last year, all of you have a membership plan in front of you. And if you turn it on to the back side, you'll see the demographic information. And this is really kind of how we determine how we should really be recruiting people. And if you look on the left-hand side, it has the Rotary statistics. And in parentheses is where we were last year. And on the left-hand side is where we are this year. So you can see that we've done a really good job of recruiting younger members. We've done a good job in recruiting females. And if you look on the right-hand side, you'll see what the makeup is of Cedar City, and some of that even is Iron County information. So we definitely need to work on the younger members more, and we need to work on females. And then Linda and Rotary International have talked about increasing the diversity of the club. You know, because we don't have an awful lot of diversity in Cedar City and Iron County, but we really aren't keeping up with the diversity that we have. So I think it's important if we know of someone that would make a great addition, because all of our thoughts, you know, they bring different ideas. Everybody brings different ideas. So this is just an idea as you take a look at, you know, looking at prospective members, where we need to work. We also have underrepresented classifications, which are listed at the bottom. So we could use more government, trade and transportation, utilities, leisure hospitality, and manufacturing representatives. So when you think about how we can diversify our club, that's another way that we do that. We have felt for a long time that we need to get the word out about Rotary. You know, how do we recruit members if the people in the community don't even know who we are or what we do? So I have to give a shout out to the Public Image Committee. It's chaired by Tessa, but it includes, you know, Sue and Jean and a lot of other people. And you've seen great articles in Iron County today, the brochures that we have on the tables, those little free lunch cards, they've all done that. So we know that we will reap the benefits of all the hard work that the Public Image Committee is doing. When we talk about retention again, we get new members on board. What do we tell them about Rotary? You know, we haven't had a really good, effective way of orienting them. But the district has put together a wonderful orientation plan. They ask for feedback from all the different clubs. And that's going to be ready to roll out. And some of our long-term members, Stuart, I know Betty has talked about that, Bob, about the fireside chats and wanting to invite new members into our homes, go over that orientation plan, make them feel welcome. So that's part of that overall membership plan that's in front of you. We also need to get new members engaged from the get-go. You know, if they come in and they don't really understand where they fit in the whole operation, let's get them on a committee. Let's get them working with fundraising or on the social committee or whatever they're interested in. I mean, that's the way that they are engaged, and that's going to keep them from quitting the club in that 2 to 3 year period I talked about. They also need mentors. You know, who can they go to if they have questions? And at one point, we thought that, you know, a mentor could be their sponsor, but like in the case of Nathan and Josh, that was Glade. Well, Glade has moved away. So they really don't have someone to go to, per se, to ask questions and be able to help them, you know, maneuver through the process of Rotary. So if any of you are ever interested in being a mentor, there is a mentor orientation program that we can roll out. Another critical component that we have, and it's in the membership plan, but it's near and dear to my heart right now, is how do we stay in touch with members who aren't able to come to meetings. And personally, I live close to Ken and Helen Engelhardt, and so I've sort of just adopted them, I guess you could say, because Ken wants desperately to come to a meeting, and so sometimes when there's leftover food, or I'll just give him a call or do something, but we need to stay in touch with people. Now, I know there were some members that weren't coming to meetings even before COVID happened, and I'd really like to understand why they don't come to meetings, and the membership committee has talked about calling them and inviting them and asking, you know, is there anything that's keeping you from coming? If it's work related, that's understandable, but if it's something else, we need to know about that. And, you know, programs need to be exciting too, so that's another way that we engage people. I'm really pleased at the turnout today. You know, sometimes when it's you know, one of our own and it's you know, talking about membership, we don't get a great crowd, but I really appreciate everybody that came today. The membership plan also includes incorporating the Sunshine Committee inside of membership. That way we can track, you know, if people are sick, if there's a death in the family, if someone got an award. And Christy Hugh is actually is chairing that committee. So if you're aware of any of those circumstances, if you could just let her know. She brings cards for people to sign and sends flowers and so forth. And so this is the membership plan. We have a membership committee, but we can't do it all ourselves. So I want to talk to you about how you can all help us keep the wheels on the bus. And this was supposed to be a PowerPoint presentation, and that kind of got blown up when we moved. So my husband helped basically put this together, and I thought that we could have it available at all the meetings just to remind us about all the things that we can do. But first of all, you know, we need to support the bus driver up here, which is Paul. He's driving the Rotary bus that we're trying to keep the wheels on. And he has all kinds of district goals that he needs to make, and so we need to get on board. This is really important. You know, we need to come to the weekly meetings, and if you can't come in person, look at all the work that's being done by the Public Image Committee, you know, Sue and Josh, to make sure that you can see these meetings at home. Schedule those exciting and motivational programs and generate some new ideas. You know, all of you have all this brain power up here about fun things we can do, how we can get together, how we can socialize. So please share those. You know, I only have a limited ability to come up with ideas, so we really need that help. And you know, as the old saying goes, if we're not changing, we're not growing. So we need to continue to change. We need to be alert to what's going on and the needs of our members. We need to be, let's see where all these things are, engaged and involve passengers in club operations, service projects, and fundraisers. Please say yes. Okay, Stuart, thank you for volunteering to bring food. Thanks to all of you who have volunteered to bring food. That's what we're talking about. So say yes to committee assignments, attend those committees. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes. There's many unsung heroes, but we need to recruit many more unsung heroes. And we need to recognize passengers that are really going above and beyond and continue to say yes. For those committee chairs that are out there, and myself included, we can't do it all alone. And so many times in the past, the committee chair has done it all. But you know what? You all have a committee. We talked to all the new members and asked them what committee they wanted to get on this year. Use them. Use them. Have committee meetings. Make sure they're involved, or else we're back to the potential turnover things. And when you do it alone, it's only one idea, but you involve that committee, you've got a great number of people helping. We need to recruit potential passengers. By the way, these two people are up here. I don't know if you noticed that, but it worked. Okay, so recruit those people, bring them to meetings, and then stay in touch with them. So Roger, I'm sure you'll stay in touch with Andy. And Andy, the membership committee will be in touch with you, but just because you bring them to a meeting, doesn't mean that it's gonna take. So we have to continue to work on that. And on the table are all these recruitment brochures and those little cards, again, that the Public Image Committee put together. So take some of those free lunch cards when you see a prospect that you think is gonna fit in good, please give it to them. And remember, what's our goal for membership? 81, okay.
Plus.
That's right. 81 plus, that's right. Okay. And then down here, it has the heart, and that's where connecting with non-participating passengers and encouraging them to come. You can, if it's okay with them, you can knock on the door and go visit them, call them, or send them a card. But let's don't forget about all those people that belong to our club, those 73 members that we want to retain, and see what we can do to get them back involved. And then having fun. Okay, we're trying to do that. You can do it with food, you can do it with programs, service projects, socialization, and so much more. So again, we're looking for all kinds of new ideas on how we can have fun. And speaking of fun, we're going to roll out the Rotary Rummy Game today. So that's all in front of you. And the idea behind it is really to incentivize members to bring guests. So, Roger, you're going to get an extra card today. And also to engage members who are unable to come. So a letter is going out to everybody that wasn't at the meeting today. And it's a letter just saying we miss you. It's going to have the Rummy rules with it. It's going to have their first card. And then if you're not able to come to a meeting, you need to, Seth, you want a card? I'll get it. If you're not able to come to a meeting, you can find a clue in the newsletter. So the newsletter comes out every 2 weeks, so there'll be, week 1 and week 2 clues, and then just call a member of the membership committee and we'll put a card aside for you. So this gets the non-participating members involved as well. And so the game's going to last for 8 weeks, and you'll get 1 card a week, additional one if you bring a guest, and then you can purchase another one for $5. This is our prize fund, okay? So if you all purchase a $5 card every week, we're going to have a great prize fund, and we'll have 3 different prizes that'll be shared. And the prizes are going to be awarded on November the 3rd. So you all have the game rules. Before you leave today, if you could just grab your card and buy another one if you're interested. And then this will be our fund for the next 8 weeks. Okay? All right, questions about the membership plan or anything that I've talked about? Sue?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to mention to everybody that on that table back there, we have developed some brochures about the good things that Rotary does in our community and what the Rotary is. So if you'd like to take them to your place of business, that would be awesome. Miriam and I are planning on traveling around the community and asking if we could place those at different places in the community. But if you'd like to have them at your work, that'd be great.
Questions?
Thank your husband for that beautiful art.
Oh, yeah. I will do that.
We should all sing the Wheels on the Bus, do you all?
Yes.
I have forgotten the wheels on the bus.
Round and round, round and
Wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round.
Thank you, Miriam.
I think we all can appreciate Miriam and her hard work. She's a tremendous member of the club, and we really appreciate her and all that she does. Her organization skills are amazing, and it's been on display today, so we appreciate her for that.